Hello and welcome to Tarot Sherpa. I am Christine, and today I am going to be reading to you through the Tarot Apokalypsis cards. Now, I have just completed a review of the deck of Tarot Apokalypsis written by Kim Huggins and illustrated by Eric C. Dunn. If you are interested in seeing that review and seeing all the cards one by one, I will put a link to that in the description box below. So today I'm going to do a Mithraic initiation spread that is detailed in Kim Huggins' book that accompanies this deck, Tarot Apokalypsis. And what I have done is I've laid out a board of cards already down here. Now, these are not the cards that I'm going to be reading, but they are from the Huggins and Dunn deck, Tarot Illuminati. So here, have a look at the board. Now, this is just the board. Now, the Mithraic initiation spread is a series of questions based on the known planets of antiquity. So we begin with the sun, represented by the sun, the moon, represented by the moon, very logically. The world is sitting in for Saturn. The wheel is sitting in for Jupiter. The tower for Mars. The Empress for Venus, and the Alchemist for Mercury. So we will look at these ideas through the lens of these cards. So let's go ahead and have a little bit more shuffle here. I did very thoroughly shuffle between doing the review and doing the reading, but I like to give an extra little massage once it gets the established idea of what we're going to talk about. So, beginning with the sun. This is actually beginning with the end in mind. So the outcome that's desired is, what are we looking for? The Hanged Man. I'm going to put the Hanged Man in place of the sun here. Very interesting. Let's go forward a little bit before I do any reading here. I want to see how they work together. So the moon, or the runner of the sun, how is this outcome? Now, a hanged man is usually somebody who's waiting. And this person in this particular card of the Native American Plains Indian initiation into warrior rituals was actually excruciatingly painful. So an initiation is the outcome. How are we getting there? Going to the moon. Death, transformation. Okay, Santa Muerte there. Kind of makes sense. All right, let's proceed a little bit further. Saturn, the obstacles in the situation, or the obstacles and challenges in your life. What is the challenge here? Eight of Cups. Retreating, abandoning some old ideas. All right, okay. Let's proceed. When we'll get back to all this. Jupiter on the wheel here. Judgment. Judgment. Okay. The main players are influences in this situation or your power and authority at this time. Could be kind of talking about work or money. Okay. Mars. Ten of Swords. The Soldier. Your role in the situation and how the situation affects you. Ten of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I can see how that would relate, but we'll get there. Venus, the emotional aspects of the situation. Two of Cups. Okay. So we have something that is very clearly emotional coming up there as a Two of Cups. We have the Moon and Saturn. So the best outcome and the obstacle. The obstacle and the outcome. So the outcome is transformation. Santa Muerte here as death is the icon of this creative destruction that's happening here. In order to be able to move on here, things must transform. There has to be some kind of exodus, an exit, in order to transform, something else has to be left behind. Transformation indicates that you're not taking your baggage with you. Now, in this pursuit, maybe that of a higher calling, a person would subject themselves to this. A man, it was exclusively men as far as I've read, which would be beyond what I've read from Kim Huggins. But a young warrior would be suspended by his own flesh in order to be purified from fear and pain, because it was a fearful and painful experience. And I think they figured if you could survive that, you could survive the horrors of warfare, which were all around them. It was a very competitive series of societies. So, subjecting oneself, choosing one's pain. And this can actually, if you think about it, can actually apply to a lot of things. You think about people who are athletes, and they train and they train and they train, and it's painful. But you choose your pain. You're either going to have pain in the gym, or you will have pain on the athletic field, either by being beaten or not being able to make the team at all. In religious spiritual life, a lot of people will subject themselves to asceticism, because in order to ascend spiritually, a lot of people will cut away the unnecessary things in their life so that they may better focus on their spiritual journey. So another example of choosing your pain. You have to choose the things that you're going to leave behind. In order to ascend, the warrior must go with the Valkyrie and therefore leave his mortal coil behind. And this is all a matter of choice. You choose the sacrifices that you need to make in order to become more. We are not born complete. Well, there may be a few people who are, like the Dalai Lama. But unless you're the Dalai Lama, this could be for you. We are not born the way we're supposed to end up. Change will come upon us whether we like it or not, but this is an example of choice. People are choosing, or a person has chosen, to follow callings and transformation and embracing discomfort, pain, asceticism, discipline in order to achieve higher goals. And that means leaving things behind. Whether it's an emotional loss, or an intellectual loss, a physical loss. And what's super interesting is we come back over here to the position of Venus. And it's the emotional aspects of the situation. It's giving something up to find something greater. There's a deeper desire at the basis here in this Two of Cups to embrace something more. There's the idea in the Two of Cups that two together are stronger than one alone. And this could indicate people who are supportive of your decision to choose this difficult path. I mean, this could even be a very strenuous course of study. This could be anything from training for a sports team to getting into medical school. I mean, think of anything that's difficult and what you have to sacrifice to get to that. That's where this is. To get to that point of transformation, you have to follow the calling. You have to sacrifice. All of this over here is sacrifice. All of this over here is calling. So there's a balance here in this concept, calling and sacrifice. But one of the lessons of the Eight of Cups here is that it's not something you're entirely sorry to lose. Same with the Ten of Swords. It may look at the outset like a very, very difficult choice. But as you proceed with the calling, it becomes very obvious. It becomes very obvious to you what you need to depart from. I mean, these are both cards here of departing. This is about abandoning what isn't working, even if it looks really pleasant. 8 cups, hey, 8 cups, that's great, right? But if that's not what your calling is, if that's not what you need over here, then it doesn't really matter how beautiful those cups are. And you're happy to be rid of them. You're like, you are ready to embrace this challenge. Embracing the challenge. Because that's part of your transformation. That's part of answering this calling. And that's part of what's bringing balance and emotional satisfaction, emotional joy into your life. Down here. In order to follow a calling, there's sacrifice. But sacrifice, while it gets a bad rap in modern society, because we're all fat and happy here in the grand old US of A, and it's hard to think of, sacrifice. Why should I sacrifice? I should have it all. No. N-O. If you want to create transformation, you will have to give some things up. And you get to pick your pain. But get rid of the things that aren't moving you towards your calling. But I think you'll find that while it seems to be a bit of a puzzle at the beginning, it'll become very easy to see. And in the end, it will be worthwhile. You will achieve that level of ascension. Wow. So that got deep today. So Tarot Apokalypsis, and you got a little preview of Tarot Illuminati. I'll do a video on that in the future. Yeah. Yep, transformation. Transformation takes sacrifice, but sacrifice is not a bad thing. Sacrifice is very cleansing. It will open the doors for you to follow that calling. So, like I said, whether it's, medical school, accepting a promotion, going to the gym, sacrifice will yield what you are looking for. Okay, I hope this helped. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you're interested, and I will see you in another video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.